When can you come to Korea?
Japan is waiting for you.
Please come to India. We need you.
When can you come to El Salvador, Central America?
When can you come to Ghana?
When can you come to the Middle East?
Please, when can you come to Japan?
When can you come to Brazil?
When can you come to South Africa?
We are waiting for you to come to Mexico.
We can't wait till you come to Spain.
When will you come to Ukraine? Ukraine needs you.
Well, Generations Global is very diverse. We do family conferences, we do marriage seminars, we speak at churches.
Those kinds of things are like taking care of business at hand, but while we're addressing issues of how to live successfully with one another, we also try to plant seeds of being in consideration of generations to come.
The book that just came out, Seeing Beyond, is a book that's being used literally around the world.
Seeing Beyond is a story about our family, getting the information from a doctor that she probably would not have any children, us marrying with that information in hand, only to find out that God was good to us and He gave us 5 children. But in the process, there was a loss of eyesight because of a physical problem. Gail found herself in a situation being visually impaired that impacted our entire family.
It's already been carried to 38 nations, and that's just the English version. But now the book has just been translated into Spanish.
I accepted translating the book Seeing Beyond into Spanish because I believe it is going to be of great impact to the Spanish-speaking nations.
There's a lot of fatherless and motherless people. There's a lot of kids who they've been abandoned. They've been abandoned by their parents. They're homeless.
This is an amazing message that I believe that it will help the families. Our nation is going lately destroying families.
When you read this book, you live it. I remember I was working on it and I would laugh, I would cry, I would be amazed, I would be like, wow! It's something that you really live by reading it.
Then the Lord paraded in front of us the nation of Japan. That nation is asking for messages on valuing life and also practical ways of how to have a family. And it fits like hand in glove.
The reason I said yes to translate this book is because the first time I heard the story, I just thought, wow, the Japanese people really need to hear that. So it was almost like my dreaming come true.
The book is now to be translated into Russian, and it will be done in Belarus.
Your message in my country can teach people how to build families, healthy families, how to build healthy relationships with children, with spouses.
And we get reports all the time of people saying, you know, I was up all night, or I was up later past my bedtime, I couldn't put it down.
The book will help my nation because they need help, and then it will help them to have hope.
It's going to build up the families, the broken heart, and bring the children to the parents and the parents to the children. I see it as very important to have this message in the Middle East and Lebanon too.
You touched my heart, and I felt I was totally exposed to God, and I could be very honest with Him.
The women in India need to read this book. All the women. They need more courage. They think that they're so inferior, they can't do anything.
The good thing about that book is they teach you how to raise your family, how to, give the time to your family and the ministry at the same time.
And I know South Africa needs that message. There are so many children who have no parents, dying of AIDS, aborted, just left because no one can take care of them. There are parents who don't want their children, and so the lack of understanding of the value of family is immense.
And then in addition to that, on the state side, we want to come along and be a tool to the crisis pregnancy centers throughout the United States.
I believe this book, Seeing Beyond, needs to be on every table available in the crisis pregnancy centers, because it's a book that will give encouragement to these young ladies. And I believe that the book shows the sanctity and the value of human life.
God has used the crucible that Gail has gone through specifically, and of course I went through it with her through the years of our being married together. But He's used that crucible to create a life message that seems to be impacting people and transforming them for the glory of God.
You know, God's a redeemer of time, He's a redeemer of mistakes. And so we just believe that both internationally and statewide, this is just the beginning of what God wants to do.
I believe it's God's hour for this message to be heard throughout the world.
Wama asampanundosu.
இந்த ஊழியம் வளரட்டும்.
Multiplique essa mensagem.
Multiplica el mensaje.
소식을 전파하라.
انشروا الرسالة وضاعفوها.
Распространяйте послание жизни.
Multiply the message.